This podcast is for pure entertainment. Our thoughts and views, man, they're not to be taken serious. If we hurt your feelings, then maybe you should stop being so soft. We don't want no smoke with anyone for voicing our opinions, bro. Please, 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 please. We are all pussy. All of us. Welcome to the Iceberg Lounge. I hope you enjoy this just as much as we did making it. You did.
And then I immigrated to Simi Valley in 2012. Linked up with these boys, well, just Jay really, in 013.
Nice.
Wait, so you went to Westlake. Did you grow up around there? Too?
Yeah, Westlake Elementary, then Kalina, Westlake High School, and that's where I met Jay.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I love Westlake, man. It's so beautiful there. Like the streets. I like the Lake Shore. Is Lake Sherwood a part of Westlake?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, but then there's also Westlake Lake, which is its
Mm-hmm.
own like it is like a peaceful oasis of its
Yeah,
own.
it's very suburban. I don't like going back there though.
Where are you at now?
Santa Monica.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like it way better out there?
A lot better.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to do, but every time I go driving in Westlake Village, I find myself like driving like a maniac just because like
Sure.
everyone's on the defense in Santa Monica.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. PCH.
That too, yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I know that's okay. That's gonna tie into some of the questions that I have for you. Did you move? Why did you move to Santa Monica in the first place?
Well, I think like maybe I was 22 or 21, but my mom got me, she got remarried and she moved to Marina Del Rey. And my sister was going to go to school at Loyola Marymount, so we just all decided to move. So me and my sister found an apartment in Marina Del Rey.
That's kind of like a super fun age, I feel like, to move out and be there.
Yeah. I got to like go out and discover all these new places.
Sure. Yeah.
Versus like Westlake Village where they close everything at 9 o'clock.
There's nothing going on.
No.
There's nothing happening.
Yeah, and it was before Dave and Buster's opened and like Tarantula Hill opened.
I
You're talking
hate
about over here. Oh,
Tarantula
okay.
Hill, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Why?
I'm bored. There's
You're
so-
right. I know. I feel you.
But
I
maybe,
feel you.
maybe again, that's a me problem. But
No, I
the
can
photo booth is
understand.
fun. I like that.
They got a photo booth?
Yeah.
I think I've been there maybe 3 times. Maybe.
Wait, are we allowed to start asking questions or not?
I was already about to start diving in. So with you moving to Santa Monica, so first of all, you're a prolific artist, right? Fantastic. Your work is incredible.
Thank you.
Of course. I thought you would have moved because it had something to do with art.
My artistic journey is I didn't take it seriously until like 4 years ago. 4 years ago I got sober. But before that, since I was a little kid, I loved painting and drawing, but it wasn't something that was nurtured in me coming from like a family of immigrants.
Sure.
You don't really have hobbies. And when I was 20, around 2021, I had my big breakup. I think 23, and like that's when I started diving into it more. But I wasn't really nurturing it up until 2020 when like COVID happened and I was at my peak. Like, yeah, when I started recovering from drinking.
Sure. Sure.
Did anyone around you like help you with nurturing that, or you really like that was like the root cause of it? Like you kind of got sober and then like that kind of became your outlet, or like was there any like external sources like kind of like inspiring you like, oh right, this is what I want to focus on again?
Yeah. So I think throughout the years, people have said like, oh, you're good, or like encouraged me. And it wasn't, I've had people just tell me like, yeah, keep going and keep doing it. But I think like the main people that really got me through it was my ex-boyfriend's uncle, who he sadly passed away. His name was Rigoberto Gomez. He was a really great artist, and he was the one, he would get drunk and like have these like really like cool one-on-ones with me, and like he'd be painting at the same time, like these amazing paintings, like all blacked out.
Yeah.
And like he was the one that's just saying like, oh, even if you don't do this as your career, like just keep doing it every day, do as much as you can.
Yeah.
And that really stuck with me. And it's been like 10 years since he told me, since I last talked to him.
Yeah.
But like him, and then my friend Mariella, her name is Mariella Angela. She's the one that really got me into oil painting, and she was the one always encouraging me. And like today she told me, not today, but like last year she was telling me, she's like, I think you're getting to the point where you're surpassing me, which I was like, I don't want to believe that's true.
Yeah.
Because she's amazing.
Are you in terms of skill?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's really good. So just having like artist friends that I've interacted with that like really understand the process
Yeah.
of it.
No, that's incredible. That's because I was going to ask that too. So with you being in Santa Monica, I mean, it's art. I mean, it's like similar between like music artistry and, you know, like how you do with tangible drawings and paintings and oil paintings and such. We need a change of scenery in order to feel inspired. So with you being in Santa Monica as opposed to you coming from Westlake, how would you say your inspiration is now as opposed to both sceneries?
Well, I think in Westlake Village, like growing up there, since it's so suburban, and you kind of meet the same kind of people, it's not somewhere where you can like creatively move down different paths. Because all I had back in the day was just Tumblr and just pictures on there. And when moving to Santa Monica, like I met all these really interesting people, and like got to interact with like other artists that I didn't even know that there were things for, like gouache, like mediums like gouache, and like I don't know, like graffiti, which is really big there. Yeah. Wait, what was the question?
You good? I was asking like, how has the change of scenery inspired you now with your art, as opposed to being from doing it in Westlake to Santa Monica?
I think what I was getting to was the main thing is I started doing plein air like 4 years ago. Where
Can I cut you off really quick?
yeah,
For those of us who don't know, what does that mean?
it means it's basically just painting outside with an easel and just painting what you see exactly how you see it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That was gonna be my next question. Like, when you do your craft, are you like seeing something in your head and then wanting it to be, but you just answered it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I guess also you could like put in your own interpretation and just kind of like repaint some things so you could see like what you want the viewer to focus on. That's really been one of my favorite things to do. Is just like planning ahead of time, like looking at like different locations, seeing what the weather's gonna be that day, and like setting up everything and just like praying that the weather doesn't change too much.
Sure.
Like because the movement of the clouds just like completely changed like the shadows in the mountains. So that's one of my like favorite things to do.
Yeah.
All right. We here. Let's get it. I go by the name Uno. This is Phyllis Driller. This is Taylor. Mike June the man. We got a Glass over there working on a switch. We got a very, 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 very special guest with us today. Someone that I went to school with, and I've been a fan of just her beauty from school. I was just always a fan of. And then just realizing, like, just recently I've kind of seen over her Instagram, she kind of revamped her whole Instagram, took all her pictures off of her and just kind of just went crazy with the painting. So I was like, let me kind of dive into her skill set and what she's doing. And I've just been a fan of just all her art. Y'all know I'm hella into art. So when I just always, so when I seen what she was doing, I was just like super in awe. One, because I didn't know she even had that skill.
Yep.
And then two, just how intricate and how important I feel like her art is. And so I definitely wanted to get her down here and kind of just talk to us about her vision and how she sees herself and where she sees herself and where y'all can go purchase some art, because y'all definitely need to go get that.
That's right.
So we got Tracy in the building.
Welcome.
Welcome. I appreciate you coming for sure. Let's give her a round of applause. So we kind of already asked you where you from. You kind of already told us Westlake, went to school there, Westlake Warrior alumni. Woo, woo, woo. So, what are some of the things that you're really passionate about in life outside of art?
That's a hard question. um, I think about painting like all the time.
That's it?
It's really hard. Yeah.
That's tight.
I'll be talking with friends and like my mind's like working out like a painting somewhere else.
So, is that like where you find peace, also
Yeah.
enjoyment in like every aspect of life? Like you feel you're most at peace and most happy when you're
Oh,
painting?
100%. 100%. Like if I haven't painted in a week, and I can feel it in my body. That I
You're
haven't-
itching?
Yeah, like just like I could feel the anxiety building because
Wow.
it's I think there's something to do with like the reward system in your brain, like just making something with your hands and
Yeah.
seeing that something was made. But I could feel it that I haven't painted.
Yeah.
So that's why like I have to do it all the time.
That's fire. That's fire.
Yep.
I understand that entirely. So
Yeah.
I get it. I get it for sure. How do you approach challenges or setbacks that you face in life? Because you kind of talked about it earlier, just your journey to soberism, and where your outlet kind of took you. What are some of those challenges that you felt approach while you've gotten over to this journey that you're at now?
Like how have I approached it? Or
Yeah, how you approached it, how you approach the challenges, or how do you approach how do you approach the setbacks that you faced?
Yeah, honestly, it's just talking with family, getting close with family, talking with best friends, my sister, my best friend Lupe, and plant medicine has been also key in recovery and just compartmentalizing like different thoughts I've had over the past.
What is plant medicine? Talk to us about plant medicine.
Well, plant medicine, like I don't like to take it all the time because I go into very deep places. So like just mushrooms and like 2 years ago I did a couple ceremonies with ayahuasca.
Yeah, shit's,
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
shit's lit.
Talk to us about your family. I know you and your sister are really close. Talk to us about that relationship.
Yeah. So my sister and I, we're really close.
Yeah, your face beams when you
Yeah.
like, talk about her.
I love her so much. It sucks because she just moved to Texas like a couple years back, and we talk all the time. I think like now that she's getting married, I talk to her a lot less than I'm used to.
Sure.
But me and her, I mean, I just gave her, for her birthday, I gave her a painting. I didn't get a recording of her reaction, but it was a painting of the both of us when we were little. And when I made it, it was, it's me. Like, I'm only a year older than her, so it's me holding her as a baby. And there's a bunch of flowers surrounding us. And
Yeah.
the flowers, they're all misshapen, and they're all like, there's no really like, it's not very, there's no real pattern. And our environment that we grew up in when we were little, like, there wasn't really any a clear structure. Like, we grew up with in an immigrant household, so we had other immigrant families living with us in an apartment. So but like because of how, even though there's no structure, the whole painting looks beautiful together. And that's basically like my sister and I's relationship is like we made it better together because we are siblings. So when I gave her this painting, like she just immediately broke down, and she kind of like, I knew she knew exactly what it meant. And she like, I told her the meaning of it, and she just was like, she put it on her altar, and she just like loves it.
That's fire.
Yeah, that's special.
Yeah.
So
Very.
talk to us a little bit. When I brought up the question challenges, I kind of was alluding to it. I know what it's like growing up in a rich area,
Yeah.
right? So like
How people look at
I didn't necessarily come from the things that other people at our school came from, and it didn't sound like you did either. So kind of talk to us about how you kind of were able to find yourself in a place where it's kind of like they already know who they are. You know what I mean? Like they already kind of, the people we went to school with kind of already have, we kind of talked about it a few weeks ago because she went to Oaks. And so like everyone at Oaks is like Oh, college. Like immediately after everyone has their life structure set up. Same with Westlake. Everyone has their, I remember prep rallies we had at school. Everyone has their name and their school they're going to. And it's like this whole thing. And it's like, well, not everybody's doing that shit. So it's like, how did you find your way to navigate? Because you were born and bred there and you went to every, elementary, middle school, high school. How did you find that challenge of navigating, to find who you were?
Well, it's funny that you say that because I remember in 5th grade in Westlake Elementary, they have us fill out this questionnaire where it's like, what do you want to be when you grow up on the yearbook? And everybody was saying, like, I want to be a veterinarian. I want to go to Texas, like U of A, or I want to go to Texas State. And on mine, I put, I want to be the first 4D game designer and own like a prehistoric restaurant called Prehistoric Times. So,
That's crazy.
I know,
That's so
but
crazy.
that wasn't on my mind. Like my parents, they didn't know any. It wasn't on their focus. It was
Right.
just work and survive.
Mm.
But I mean, it's through osmosis. I think just hearing everybody talk about it, people's parents talk about it, ask you questions about it, and you kind of like, I just started going with the grain with it.
Mm-hmm.
But my path was a lot longer. I went to Moore Park College for 4 years, but like I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
You went for 4 years?
I'm pretty sure 3, but still. Yeah, but I stay there way
For sure.
longer than
Felt
I should
like
have.
4.
Yeah.
Felt like forever.
It was forever, but like I was wasting my time there. Like, and I ended up going to Cal State LA afterwards, graduating in a year and a half. But like, it wasn't anything. I was
What'd
just
you
doing
study?
communication studies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you're not shy to be here.
Oh no. I'm very
Good.
introverted, but like I could push for a while,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, okay, I need to go lock myself out, like go again for a bit.
So how much longer we got? 25 minutes?
Yeah, about. But yeah, that area in Westlake High School, it was hard to fit in there.
I bet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I didn't fit in with like most people there, but I also didn't fit in with like people who were also Hispanic. Yeah,
Because they were the opposite.
Yeah, because I grew up with like a lot of the other kids, and so once we started having more diversity, like I still couldn't fit in with everybody else. And
Totally understand.
Yeah.
Totally
I
understand.
feel it.
Yeah, I made,
Being,
because I came, like, it's so, because I have a stigma, right? Like, the high school me is completely opposite of, like, who I actually am as a person.
Yep. Talked about it.
But
that's how
I realized that a long time ago when I moved from Palmdale
and
to
you
see
went to
me,
different places, yeah.
that, like, I'm going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
And so I refuse to just, like, I'm never going to fit into anybody's world. Like, it's because when I went to Westlake, I didn't even know that there was people that weren't rich. Like, I thought everybody that went to Westlake was rich till I went to Westlake and I was like, oh, niggas aren't rich like that. There's the
Yeah.
rich group, you know what I mean? And then there's the people that are like me,
The
you know what
middle
I mean?
class.
It's the middle class or
Yeah.
the lower than that. It's just,
Mhm.
this is the best environment to figure out some shit. So
and
it
you
was
done went to
definitely
school in
interesting.
Houston too. That shit is crazy.
Yeah, that shit's different.
Going in the South, like I went
Yeah.
to school in Florida, and like that like what he was saying with the high school shit. It's like you have like depending on your surroundings is what you be
Right.
on. Like
And then being that we're mixed too, like,
that's another.
you know,
thing. That's
like,
what I was about to say.
man, like trying to find, like, do I go with the blacks or do I go with the Mexicans?
Who's going to actually
Who's
accept
going to
where I'm
accept
at?
me? Yeah, like,
and for you, it's that I'm half white,
Right.
so it's like okay, like you know, what I mean, there's different things that come with that too. It's like
Yep.
you got crazy shit. That should be. I feel that.
Being that you are, being that our age, we are the same age, around the same age, we usually don't have like new friends or meet new people like that. But sometimes they do come into our life. How do you build genuine connections with people in today's world?
That's a hard one. I think I've just gotten really lucky because it's been friends of friends or family friends and like just being introduced to people like I could really trust. But other than that, like the way I've made other artist friends has like honestly been through Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met some really great people on there and like luckily like they live close to me too.
Right.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's the best way.
What age did you know you were talented in painting? Because I know when you started, you said about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But when did you know? Like, when did you start drawing? Like, I can draw.
I think maybe like this last year.
Stop.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I'm confused.
Because I don't feel like I felt like for the longest time like I just wasn't good enough because like I just compare myself to people who are already like
Wait,
prolific.
so you, like, were you good at all? Like, you
No,
were, like, being, like, not modest, like, about if you think you were as good as other people. Like, were you were good before a year ago or no?
I know I was.
In your opinion?
In my opinion.
Yeah, like, not being modest. Like, just against other people. Like, against a person like me, I can't draw at all.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Well,
What?
she'll shit on you.
No, but I'm
But
saying,
in
like,
her
more
comparison-
than a year ago, I'm saying, like.
Okay. I think like I started saying I was good this last year.
This
Wow,
last year.
yeah.
that's
I started
crazy.
like actually thinking, believing it that I'm pretty good.
After seeing your stuff, that's crazy.
But like before that, it was like I felt like I couldn't say it was good yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is
That's
so
the answer.
interesting.
Well, you
That's what I
probably
was
have a
looking for.
year
Wow.
ahead of you then.
Yeah, you got.
So
Because
what is?
imagine what it's gonna be like with like believing in you. You know?
Yeah, yeah, I think that's part of it too. Just like knowing that you can do it, because like if you think about like the greats from like the 1600s or
Yeah.
just Michelangelo, like they didn't have computers back then.
Yeah.
Like if they could do
Yeah,
it
they
then,
do
like
it.
you could definitely do it now.
True.
Yeah.
Damn, that's my
That's crazy
fucking
as
low
hell.
key.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Because I don't like you. Never really like you.
Yeah.
Usually the people's answers.
Tripping.
Yeah, I'm tripping out.
That's
Yeah,
why
I'm tripping
I
out.
asked it like that. I was
Because
like,
usually
what?
people that don't feel like they're good at something don't display it for people.
Yeah.
And the fact that when I'm
Year ago.
asking you when did you feel good, you're saying was in 2024,
yeah.
but you've been dropping before that
bombs.
is kind of crazy.
And you do crazy work. It's like, what?
Yeah, like I have like anxiety posting every time. Especially like I think I started posting more like maybe 2 or 3 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
And that's when I had friends that were pushing me. They're like, just press the fucking button, Tracy. Just press the button. Just post it. Like if it's
Yeah.
not like it's better. You're at even if like it's like a pyramid. Like you're at this tier right now. Like that's better than everybody else under that tier.
Right.
Tracy, is that trauma related?
I think so. Like just being like what's it called? The fear of being perceived.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, perception, like the fear of what people think of your art, or like, is that what you mean?
I think so. Yeah, like just like what they. But honestly, I think it's just more from within, just like that critical voice that tells you, like that kind of just whispers, like, you really think that's good enough for everyone to see?
It's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm shook.
Did
Shit.
you use anything like I think with Santa Monica too, there's probably like a lot of different ways to show your art or a lot of different places. But it seems like you mostly or like I saw in your bio like commissions for your art.
Yeah.
But do you ever go and do like art shows or like present to anywhere else? Or have you like kinda like built your brand and business like on Instagram?
It's mostly been on Instagram or
Yeah.
like online. I've been a part of with the Dia de los Muertos show in in East LA.
Yeah.
That's tight.
Yeah.
That's
Do you
tight.
prefer something like that, or do you want to do more of that, or do you want to keep building on Instagram? Which also I feel like I imagine for everyone, perceptions on Instagram is just tough in general. It's horrible for like everyone's mental health, but at the same time, like we were talking about it before, like just looking at your Instagram, like your Instagram is not a normal Instagram. Like it's amazing. Like you go there and you see like a little piece of you, but also not at all. Like you see so much of your art with like a hint of you, which is just like different from everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, what was the question?
Just like, do you see yourself continuing to build that brand and like business on Instagram? Like, do you like doing that, or
I think I like it more on Instagram, but
Yeah.
yeah, just because I'm such a homebody and like I'm so introverted, but like I've been really pushing myself the last like few months to like really try and reach out, email galleries, visit galleries, and like actually having like because I have the body of work now. It's just about
yeah,
getting it shown in places.
yeah,
Fire. When did you? Because First of all, I'm still trying to re-grasp my shookness from your answer, cause like no, I'm really like that's rare.
That's a taboo answer.
Like
That don't make
I'm
no
dead
sense.
ass,
Yeah,
like
that's why I was
dead
like,
ass,
what?
like I'm tripping out. Like I do these every week, and I've never gotten that answer before ever in my life.
Ever.
So I'm tripping. But when did you decide? Like, what was the mental switch to? All right, I'm going to share my work. Like what was that like? Tell me that challenge of like, and I know you're still probably in it,
Yeah.
but like, what was the? And you kind of talked about it, your friends pushing you to do it, but what was your mental challenge that you faced just doing it?
I think just because I didn't know, I think I forgot when I started posting the first ones because I used to show like little sketches back in the day. But I think the biggest challenge when I was trying to show it was just that it was different than what everybody else I was following or that followed me was posting. Like nobody else was posting it, and like I saw like very few people posting it. Like it was back when social media wasn't really showing that much stuff of art. So it wasn't like I had someone to base my profile after. So just, I think just like just doing it without seeing other people do it, like how they did it. That was the hardest thing, like having no mentor, like in
Having
doing
no
it.
source of reference
That too,
for it.
Doing
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fire. Talk to us about the first moment you felt proud of yourself when you were looking back at your art.
Oh yeah. There was it was that one painting I did for Dia de los Muertos. It was the first show I did, and it was of my mom. Like she was my reference. And in the painting, I actually asked her to model for me, and she's naked in the painting. And I love that she did that for me. But when I was doing it, like I go through ups and downs, like where I'm like, am I actually good enough? Like what was I thinking?
Sure.
And like then I think I finished it in like a month and a half, but like it was a lot of like long hours because at the same time I was working, and then I would be working on the
do it
weekends.
when you're off.
Yeah. So like working on it 8 hours when I was like gone from work, and then on the weekend the full weekend. And I think on the last weekend I could work on it so it wouldn't be wet before the show. I took some Adderall just to like stay up throughout the whole night just to finish it because I couldn't be wet or that wet for the show. And there was a moment when like I just stopped and like the colors just popped out, like the turquoise and like the oranges on the marigolds just popped, and I just saw my mom's face there, and I was just like, I just started tearing up. I was like, I remember this feeling when I was like a little kid when I made something, and I was so proud, and I was ready to show my parents. Like it was that feeling again that I got.
That's dope.
Yeah. So I felt that 3 years ago when I did that painting.
Fire.
Yeah, that was the first time I felt that in a long time.
You've been chasing that high ever since?
I got it again recently too.
You gotta keep going, man.
Such a good feeling.
It is. That's fire.
That's dope.
Is there a particular artist, movement, or style that have influenced your approach?
Yeah. I think, well, there was Mariella, I mentioned her earlier. Mary Angela, she did a lot of hip-hop artists, and I love doing portraits, and I just love the impasto, like, roughness that she had to it. Like, from far away, it looks like a picture, but close up, it's just strong strokes of paintings. And she inspired me to get into portrait painting. And afterwards, I got Jeremy Lipking, who's amazing, and he's been a mentor. I did 2 of his workshops. He's the one that's like really gotten me like into like understanding composition and like really focusing on like just getting better overall, like seeing paintings differently.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire. How do you navigate the balance between realism and artistic freedom?
It's hard because I want to go into a very surreal place, but most of it's hard to make it like, it's hard to balance those two.
Because those are your 2 favorite things to do,
Yeah,
right? Exactly.
it's really hard to balance because one of the things I've been trying to work on is blending in the background with the foreground. And like that's so hard to do when like everything's coming from your mind and like you don't have a real reference for it for how like the light hits it.
Right.
So it's I mean it's a hard balance and like
Imagination has to be crazy.
exactly.
What are your favorite things to paint?
People.
People?
Like
So
especially women.
Women?
Yeah.
That's fire. All right. Leads me to my question.
Yeah.
I know the first time guys see your art, they're like, shorty sexual, for sure.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the really deeper meaning of why you paint the things that you paint.
Yeah. So I've actually had that critique before where it's like it's too sexual and like it's like I don't know, it's very objectifying.
Mm.
But for me, I didn't realize that the reason I was painting women so much and naked women was because of my discomfort with nudity. I think growing up Hispanic, especially with like immigrant parents, we don't really talk about it. Yeah, like we don't talk about sexuality. And that was something that I didn't understand until a little bit later. When I did ayahuasca, one of the things that happened to me that was really scary was I saw a kaleidoscope of like nude women, and like it was just like vulvas and like breasts and like just skin just being shown to me, and I just was getting scared. And there was a point where I even started seeing like it just kept getting closer to me, the whole kaleidoscope, and like I realized that it was just Aya was just trying to show me that what it meant to me, really. Because I had to talk to somebody there, a facilitator who was talking to us when we had problems. And I said, like, this is a very malicious feeling. Like, I feel like I'm being attacked. But Aya's not malicious. And I asked it to show me a different way. Like, the facilitator told me to ask Aya a different way. And when I did, it started showing me the kaleidoscope again of like the women's bodies, and like eventually it was I saw like a giant in the ceremony. I saw like a woman's like vulva, like the vagina opening, and like I just saw it get closer to me and like open up, and inside was it was my mother, naked, and she was holding me and my sister as babies, and even though like there were no words and no one telling me this, like I could feel that my discomfort toward nudity was because I've just people have grown to sexualize the woman's body, but really it's more what it meant to me was just like it's life, it's beauty, it's nurture, it's love. It's just one of the most beautiful things on this earth, and like that's why I've been gravitating towards painting a lot. It's because I feel like a lot of us have been conditioned to like really be like, as soon as you see somebody breastfeeding in public, you know,
Turn away.
Yeah. Instead of it being natural, like, and it's a very natural thing.
You just try to make it like more like the commonness of it and how it should be. It just like sheds light on that as well.
The
commonness about things that are natural like that.
Yeah, like it should be a very natural thing. Yeah. It's something that should be more respected.
It happens with everybody, but
yeah.
So since your experience with never heard that abbreviation before. I like that. Yeah. With Aya, would you say that opened you up more to being more of a free spirit and embracing the fact that nudity isn't wrong?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, like I understood like my discomfort around it, and like being more comfortable with it and being more comfortable with other people that believed in it. I mean, my whole apartment's now like filled with like just naked bodies, and like I had to like have to be mindful with my roommates also. I forgot not everybody's used to it.
For sure. I mean, it's funny because you're like, you know, you're highlighting the beauty of femininity of the woman's body, right? It's God's masterpiece. That's why I'm glad it's that way, because that ain't like that with a man's body, you know. So it's you can really see the beauty in a woman's body when it's portrayed in an innocent way as appreciating it, as opposed to, like you said, objectifying it. So I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I feel like if you guys Google like men's paintings of like naked women versus like women painting naked
Completely
women,
different.
yeah,
I'm afraid to look it up.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we have at the studio we have I got like hella paintings by some painter I know, and that's her bag too. She's just like super into painting female things, but she adds like she's into like alien shit. So like they're like aliens, but they're fire. It's fire. It's fire. But I always was interested, like what's the deeper meaning? I know we talked about it a little bit.
yeah.
That's dope. How do you navigate the vulnerability of painting a human body, both from the perspective of your as the artist and as a model?
Well, it's definitely difficult because it's funny you say that because I think it's just like trying to take like the self out of it and trying to see it just from like the artistic approach. Like the part of me that's like the ego in me is just like, okay, like who do I don't know how to explain it. Like I just have to remove myself completely and like not really feel like any of the shame or like the embarrassment.
It's not you.
Yeah.
You don't look at it as
Yeah,
you.
it's like this. I have to like step away from it and like ask people for opinions. Like, because I even for the last painting I did for Dia de los Muertos, like I had to send. I had 2 pictures and references I wanted to choose from, and like I couldn't choose from 2, and I had to send it to my sister. I'm like, hey, which picture of me looks better? And it's me just naked. I'm like, I'm like, if you're comfortable, can you ask your fiance like which one looks better? And it's like. And like they're not looking at it through like a sexual lens.
Right.
Yeah, they're looking at it through an artistic lens, and they understand that that's how I want them to see it too.
For sure, 100%. How was the challenge of painting yourself?
It's hard, but it's like when you don't really have money to like pay a model, it's you gotta use yourself. Yeah. You have to.
Because I know you had the picture of you had someone take a picture of you and then you painted it in your shit. So I was just wondering, like, do you critique yourself, or do you look at it just as a canvas? Like, how does that? Because you're looking at yourself, your image of you, and then you painting you.
Yeah.
So like, do you look at it from like a How does that?
I know it's kind of like it's kind of weird watching it too, because I've done like live painting, like the Instagram, what's it called, TikTok lives with like me watching. I have like iPad watching me with the comments and I'm watching
comments. Yeah, it's like Inception.
Yeah.
It's like Inception. Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah,
It's
trippy.
Did you feel like self-conscious while you were drawing yourself at all?
Like while I'm painting it, I think over time I've kind of like desensitized myself towards it.
Yeah.
Just because I've done it so much now, but it's still like setting up a camera and like pressing play is still something that's like I still have to get used to.
It's challenging. Yeah.
Yeah, because then I'm like I have to look at it, I have to see if it's the right angle. Do I look okay? Can you see the painting? Like, so like it's just like I don't want to think about it too much. I just want to paint, but at the same time I do want to show the world what I'm doing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but the way I want to show it.
Yeah. Okay. That's tight.
How do you stay motivated or inspired when you're not inspired? Because you just say you're taking a break right now.
Yeah.
And it's killing you.
Yeah.
So answer my question, and then why the hell are you taking a 2-week break right now if it's killing you? Girl, paint.
I know. I switched my roommate. I had a roommate move in, and I had to switch bedrooms. So that was the main reason. Is like, if I paint and like, which I did a little bit, but like if I paint, it's gonna get everywhere, especially if I move everywhere.
Yeah.
And like oil paint gets everywhere. I'm surprised I don't have any on these clothes, but like
It's on all your shit.
it's everything. Literally. Like I tell myself it's gonna be a vibe, and it's not a vibe. I just look at it.
It's funny. So how do you stay inspired when you're not inspired?
I have to talk to friends. Like I was actually gonna call Mariella today because I have to talk to my artist friends. I have to go on like online and see what other artists are doing, or just actually take out the plein air kit and go outside and just see what I like. Just look outside and paint what I see. Right. Those are like the main like ones to get me out of there. because I'm entering it again.
Right.
Yeah.
When you do like portraits, like for example, like I feel like I've seen a lot of like Mac Miller on your page.
Yeah.
Do you like Mac Miller, or did someone ask you to do Mac Miller,
I
or
love
like?
Mac Miller.
So do you ever listen when you're not outside? Will you listen to music, or like, is there anything? I feel like I would have to be listening to music, but
So-
it seems like sometimes maybe you.
Yeah, like outside it's music, but inside it's like I'm a movie person.
Oh.
Yeah, that's another thing. I love movies.
Yeah.
Favorite movie? Go. I'm playing. Go ahead.
Like that's too
No,
many.
go. Top 5 right now.
Right now?
Right now.
Okay, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Fire.
Fantastic.
Gran Torino.
Fire.
Spirited
Fantastic.
Away.
Fire.
And oh shoot.
Hurry.
I,
I'm playing.
okay, Anora was one of my favorites right now.
Wanted to see it. Is it good?
Oh my god, watch it.
I want to see it. It's
Yeah.
good?
Yeah.
All right, bet. Say less. Say less.
Yeah.
Say less.
I cried both times I watched it.
Say less. Say less. Say
Yeah.
less.
What's it
Uh,
called?
Honora.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anora.
Never heard of it.
It's
but
new.
alright.
It's new.
Okay.
Yeah. And The Substance is also really good.
I heard
I
about
heard
that.
that
I
shit
heard
was
about that. I
fire.
heard
It was
about
really
that
good.
too.
It was really good.
I
It was
heard-
really good.
I heard that shit was fire.
I heard it's like top
Crazy.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard
I
it was
gotta
like
see
that.
that.
I'm gonna see that.
I'm
Shout
halfway
out
through
Demi
Smile
Moore,
too.
man.
Yeah.
Shout out Demi Moore. I need to go see that for sure.
Movies. That is not what I expected you to say.
Yeah, no, I love movies. That's how
Pictures, that's
my
what-
dad learned English from like watching movies.
That's cool.
And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he taught, well, I mean, like through osmosis, like I learned that too.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I didn't speak English when I was like until 5.
Yeah.
But I was born here. But that was like my main thing to like with my dad, just like sitting down watching movies.
Yeah.
That's dope.
That's fire. Yeah, we love movies over here too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Huge movie buffs. Wish I would have known that before.
Watching shit. Yeah. Run that shit.
Talk to us about the process to concept to finished.
Concept. Well, I have like my phone with me at all times. Like it used to be a little notebook, but with life, like I'll hear people say funny stuff, or like I see things happen in general. Like just this last weekend, like I was telling my friend's boyfriend, like, oh, I think your friend's really cute, and he's like, you have trash like
Taste.
taste in men.
Jeez.
And like,
Damn.
you know, and like
Jeez.
he tells
He's a good homie though. Shout out him. Hey, shout out
He's
him.
looking out. Yeah.
it is his friend too.
Right. He's looking out. He's looking
Just
out.
looking out, man.
He later
yeah.
on he tells like his other friend, and his friend and him come up to me and they're like, it's like a Lamborghini and a trash can. They're like, what are you doing?
Jeez.
And like in my head I'm like, that's funny. Like, and I started thinking about it, like just like a Lamborghini like in a bad area of like in like a bad area, like a bad neighborhood.
Right. That's
I'm like,
funny.
that'd be a
That-
cool painting.
That would be.
That is
That's a
tight.
trap.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
hard.
If you have gotten any, how do you deal with criticism if you've gotten any?
It depends who it's coming from.
Randoms.
Well, I'd see where it's coming from. Like, if it's somebody, like from for the painting that I just did for Dia de los Muertos, where I was naked for the portrait. I just try to explain to them like where I'm coming from, because for some people, I understand that Dia de los Muertos is a very sacred and like it's very traditional, and being naked could be seen as the nudeness is like very could be seen as disrespectful.
Like sacrilegious.
Most- yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But for me, it was more about vulnerability and like just honoring, and like just being, just bearing it all. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
But like just even though they won't understand, like I'll listen to what they have to say and see. Like I don't have to agree with it, but I do want to listen to see where
See
they're
their
coming
point
from.
of view.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's a very mature way of thinking.
Do you
Yeah.
implement
Understand
criticism where you feel like it's necessary in your next pieces or in your way of life, or do you just be like, I appreciate it, and you hear it and you just move on?
I think it's a little bit of both, because like if maybe for the next one I could see like, well, is it needed, or maybe like am I thinking about what they're saying too much from what I actually want to do,
Right.
and I'll decide, like, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
How do you take a friend's perspective, a friend's criticism,
it depends who the friend is.
an artist friend?
Artist friend, I'll take their
You take it?
I always take it.
To a
dope.
heed? Do you let it steer you though? Excuse me. Do you let it steer you in? If I said not me, but let's say an artist friend that you hold very value. They give you show them something that you've worked extremely hard on, and they're like, it's cool. Do you ask what it is and try to implement, like try to fix it, or do you scrap the idea and just move on?
I think with the last few people that I've actually asked that to, I have listened to what they said, and like I completely see what they said. Like one of my friends, I did a really large painting, and like she asked me, she said it was good, but like the problem is like why did you choose a large painting? Like why this painting to be the bigger paintings? And I was like, that's actually a really good question. Because, like, now I feel like I wasted, like, a $60 canvas.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And it probably just could have been just a study or something like that was just, like, 8 by, like, 11.
Right.
So, like, I think I try to take, like, their opinion and, like, take it to heart. And, like, I try not to take too much of it because you never know, like, if they're just trying to, like...
What their intent is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But with, like, it just depends what it is. Like, I actually have to think about it.
If they ask you a good question that you can't answer, then
exactly.
Yeah.
Then maybe I should think about
then
it.
maybe you should think about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, 100%. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, it has something to do with some of your Instagram posts that I've seen. Because I was genuinely curious. You show some nudity, right? But tying back to why was it only because you grew up as like in an immigrant household that it affected your view of what nudity and sexuality is? Like, did that form some kind of trauma to the fact that, you know, this plant has to tell you like, hey, you tripping on something you don't need to be tripping on? And then now that you're able to do it, like, do you find that challenging still to like with nudity? Do you still have that challenge with it? Like with posting it on the gram?
Yeah. So I think what's the question?
So,
Are you cured from the thing that you had a problem for? Like painting nude, like you had a problem with nudity, for example.
Yeah.
Painting it helped you or made you realize that was why you were painting it. Do you still have those? Is it something that you've gotten over, or are you still working with it?
Yeah, it's definitely been a process because there's one, I mean, like, when I was, like, in my early 20s, like, I definitely went through that phase of, like, hypersexuality.
Sure.
And not really understanding where I came from, but also growing up in a very conservative family. It's also, like, in a way it felt rebellious, but, like, when I think back to it, like, I don't want to say I'm ashamed of it because I am who I am today because of it. Yeah.
That's real.
I mean, it's been a process, like understanding where I stand with it. Because there was a time where like I was hypersexual, and then there was a time where like I was just in a hole, just ashamed about it, and just trying to hide. But then like now I'm like, okay, well why should I? Why?
Yeah.
Why should I?
That's an important question to ask at some point is why do I feel this way?
Yeah.
You
And
know?
like, so I think just looking back at it, just accepting it. Yeah, just fully accepting it. And it's funny because, like, I forget. I posted it and I forgot I had my family on there.
That must
That's
have
just so
been a
funny.
conversation. You say they're
People
conservative?
People always be having two accounts. They have their family
Straight up.
account and they have
Straight
that business account. That business account. Gotta have your business and your family one.
Yeah.
How'd that
That should
go?
be funny.
How'd that conversation go?
No one asked me about it.
No one bothers you?
Yeah,
That's
nobody
fire.
asked me
Well, yeah,
about
you're a
it.
grown woman, right? Like, what they gonna say? Like,
Yeah.
hey, we heat that.
Stop doing that.
Take it down. Like, no.
You take it down, motherfucker.
Yeah.
My shit fire. Buy one.
Whoa.
Yeah, question. What do your like? Say I want like a I don't know, like an 8x12 or something, right? Like, how much would that run me? Feels like an oil painting.
It depends what it is.
A portrait of my wife.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
We'll talk about
Yeah,
it.
we'll talk about it.
We'll
Yeah.
talk about it.
I wanted to show these
I got
people to
you,
know
I got
like
you.
your
We'll
prices.
talk about it. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Plug
Yeah,
talk.
don't get your prices on the air.
Yeah, no,
Y'all
no.
gonna tap in. Y'all gonna tap in.
Yeah, no plug talking on here.
Any other questions before we get into this game? All right, game time. Simple game. Black and white. I'm gonna give you two choices. You pick what choice fits best for you. Elaborate on why if you want to, or we can move on to the next one. All right. Mac Miller or Wiz?
Mac Miller.
Drake or J. Cole?
J. Cole.
Michelangelo or Picasso?
Michelangelo.
Hip hop or EDM?
I think right now EDM.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You can elaborate on why on any of these too.
If you feel.
Okay. Well, I think
Just EDM's vibing.
EDM. Yeah, I can
That's
feel
what
it in
you're
my body.
listening to.
For sure.
Burner Boy, not Burner Boy, Burning Man or Rolling Loud?
Burning Man. Because that's where I found myself.
Real.
Wow.
That's lit.
Movies or shows?
It has to be movies.
Has to be movies.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Has to be
That's
movies.
right.
It
I
has
fucks
to
with
be.
it. I
right.
fucks with that.
Beach vacation or mountain retreat?
A mountain retreat. You can paint there.
Mountains be lit.
That's
Road,
fair.
Yeah.
road trip or flying to the destination?
You just have to fly there.
This is so real.
Facts. I fucks with that.
Coffee or tea?
Oh, what do you got time?
Just coffee,
Coffee.
every day.
Straight to
every
it, coffee all
just
day.
straight-
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Black.
Exactly.
Black
No,
coffee.
literally black.
No, for real.
I take it.
Shrooms or
That should be
ayahuasca?
lit.
Oh, that depends.
Elaborate too.
I mean, ayahuasca, it's like you got to plan around it and you got to plan through.
It's a whole thing.
You got to go. Yeah, it's painful.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah, it's very painful. You just, like, some of the worst feelings you ever felt, like, you feel that amplified.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But with
Ooh.
mushrooms, that's like,
You can
it's-
live life through it.
You can navigate life a lot better.
So,
I mean, on any day, mushrooms, but with planning,
Mm-hmm.
ayahuasca.
yeah.
Yeah.
Early riser or night owl?
Night owl. I have to be.
Audiobooks or straight books?
Audiobooks, because that's what I used to do with painting. Just have a story in the background playing.
Fire.
That's cool.
Oh, that was actually something I was going to answer. Is like when I'm painting inside, I have podcasts about movies playing
That's dope.
versus music all the time, like the Dead Meat podcast and like what are the other ones? The
Iceberg Lounge.
Perfect.
Fire. Minimalist or Maximus?
I want to say minimalist, but definitely I think I'm a maximalist. Like,
Comedy or drama?
I have to go with comedy. There's just sometimes dramas
Should
are
be
just
Too much.
it's too much
Too
too
sometimes.
much.
Niggas do
Yeah.
not want to cry every 2
I just want
seconds.
to chill.
Yeah, just
wanna
like I
have
just
some
want to
fun.
laugh
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yep.
Need a break.
Right. Giving or receiving?
It has to be about giving. Yeah.
Movies. I already said that. Loyalty or love?
That's a hard one. But I feel like loyalty is a big one. I think it's a big one. Because even with friendships that I've had, like sometimes like people that have done them wrong, they try to come back around and like talk to me. Like even though that friendship was gone, it's just like there's still like that
That.
Something
level of
happened,
respect
Yeah.
where I'm like I keep my distance.
Right. Facing fears or facing vulnerabilities?
I feel like it's the same thing. But
I guess,
Kinda.
yeah, kind of.
yeah, but which one would I prefer? I think is vulnerabilities.
Because vulnerabilities could be, for example, your paintings, right? Like vulnerabilities of being vulnerable, like being open and being naked and being free,
Rather than
versus the
something you're actually
fear of
scared
like
Yeah.
I'm afraid of being naked at all.
Yeah.
You know, I think they're
Yeah, I think it was a little deeper.
being right or being happy.
I mean, I like being right, but I think my happiness is what comes first. That's the number one thing I've learned these last few years.
Would you rather have more time or more money?
More time any day. I think if anybody offered you $1 billion, but like you only have 24 hours left to live, you wouldn't take that. Nobody would.
Drowning or burning to death?
It's horrible.
That's terrible.
Um,
So funny. as hell.
Depends where.
Nah,
Up to you.
I think if you drown in any water, it's
I mean,
fine.
just for like the, I think for the open casket for drowning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for my family.
All right, last question for me. Last question for me. Power, peace or power?
I think right now I gotta choose power.
Elaborate.
Yeah.
Hey,
I think, well, I've had a very peaceful year this year, but it's one of those years where, like, I don't feel like I've been at my best in this roller coaster of life. Like, sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down, and, like, been very peaceful, but I'd rather trade a little bit of that peace to, like, have some more power. It's, like, a higher level of respect.
I like that.
control.
Real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah. Socialism or communism?
Oh.
I'm playing. You know I said one of the crazy ones.
Yeah, what's a tip if like someone who doesn't paint at all, but they want to like experience like obviously none of us are gonna be painters, but like well maybe I don't know.
No, you got it.
No.
You're right.
But like
Straight up.
You're right.
like if someone wants to just kind of like experience like step into a day of your life, like what's a tip that you would tell them to try? Like they've never painted ever, that they wouldn't expect.
I think, like, the one thing I used to say all the time was just paint, but no, that's just not. It doesn't help just doing that. But really just, I mean, it's like something that somebody wouldn't expect is just find a mentor and reach out to them, someone that you respect. So I think having somebody that you respect telling you what you need to do, like, it kind of gives you more incentive to do it if you can't do it for yourself.
Yeah.
Or if you don't have that idea.
Yeah, like that's with me and Mariella. Like, she's the one that got me into oil painting. Like, before I was just acrylic and gouache and watercolor.
Yeah.
So, her telling me like, oh yeah, do oil painting, try it, you're really good. Like, gave me that extra push to really get in there and actually want to do it. So just finding someone you respect and like just asking them for advice and following it.
Shout out to Mariella then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shout
Mariella.
out.
Shout out.
Yeah, Mariella Angela.
Anything else? That's it.
That's it.
All right. Well, let's give her a round of applause.
It's been a great one.
Thank you
Yeah.
guys.
Killed it. She killed it. Thank you for coming. It means
Thank
the
you
world
for
to
having
us,
me.
for sure. For
Definitely.
sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I go by the name Uno. This is Phyllis Driller,
Yeah.
Taylor, Mike June the man. Give us a plug where they can find you, where they can follow you, buy your art, all that.
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Tracy Anahy, TracyAnahy.
Hey.
Run that back if you slow.
Yeah, rewind it.
You
There's a
just have to
10
hit
second
the 10
thing.
second thing.
Click that like
Click
twice.
that. Click that.
You be good.
Be
You be
right.
good. You be good. Make sure y'all get her art. She's really, really talented.
Very.
Super fire. I'm about to give me a piece. We're gonna
Facts.
talk
Yeah.
about it when we
Right.
get out of
Straight
here.
up. Straight
But
up.
yeah, super, super talented. I thank you for coming
Yeah,
for
actually,
Thank
a gift for
you.
you guys also.
for sure.
Thank
We're the
you.
Iceberg Lounge, and before we get out of here, I want to leave y'all with a very special message. Wake up every day and strive for perfection, and when you fall short, because you definitely will fall short, wake up and do it again. We're the Iceberg Lounge, and we'll see y'all next week. Big Burr.